Hi everybody, this is public speaking class from Lincoln English World. Now, before I dive into some of the things that I came up with, first I want to talk to you about what public speaking is. Now, what is public speaking? Welcome to Lincoln English World. Look at the word public speaking itself. Public speaking. It looks self-explanatory, right? That is true because it just means speaking in public. It just means standing in front of people and talking. There's a whole lot more concept in there, by the way, because public speaking is not just about standing in front of people and talking. It's a lot more than that. It's about making sure that you create impact among people. It's about affecting people positively. It's about leaving something for people to grind on long after you leave the podium. When you look at the word public speaking, it just means standing in public and talking, but there's something greater in there. What does it mean? Public speaking is a way, I'm going to give you the definition here. Public speaking is a way to express your ideas and to have an impact on issues that matter in society. That is true. If there is anything that you care about in our society, if there is anything that you want to say something about, you could just get up and talk in front of people. And it's not just talking in front of people, it is about making sure that what you say to the people has some sort of impact. All right? So when I say impact, by the way, I'm talking about what you want people to take home, what you want people to understand. Whatever kind of speech you're making, you want people to see something in there. You want people to take something home. So what is it that you want people to take home? What is it that you want people to have? What is it that you want people to understand? That's what I mean by impact. So public speaking is, by the way, a great tool for many people, for a lot of people to actually do their businesses. You know, if you're a salesperson, for example, in order for your products to be sold, you have to talk, really. You have to talk. You have to do the talking. How do you talk in front of people? It's actually hard to get people to care in our time. Of all the things that people are distracted by, you try to come out as somebody who has something to say to your public, or as somebody who people think has something to take something from. For example, you're watching this video, you think you're going to get something out of this video. You know, it's really hard to get you to care, by the way. It's really hard to get you to care. What I'm saying is, in order for you to come to this video, there has to be something that actually brings you in. In order for you to sit down, take a little moment and watch me, there has to be something that you think is valuable in this video. So that's what I mean. It's really hard to get people to care about whatever it is that you have at hand. So what I'm saying is, it's really important to practice speaking. It's really important to have this skill called public speaking. All right, so put that in mind. So now I want to talk to you about preparing to speak publicly. Now, what should you do? What should you do when you prepare to speak publicly? That's what I'm going to talk to you about. What should you do when you prepare to speak publicly, okay? Because now you may have a presentation to do, a school presentation to do, or some sort of speech that you have to make at your friend's birthday or whatever it is that you have. And then what are you going to say in front of those people? And then how are you going to say it? You know, and then there are so many things that you have to think about prior to your speech. But now, you know, I'm specifically going to focus on some of the things that you have to consider before you get on a podium. All right. So preparing to speak publicly. Look at that. Let me start with what Ralph Waldo Emerson once talked about speech. He said, "Speech is power. Speech is power." Remember this, speech is power. But of course, with power, with great power comes great responsibility, right? You know how to talk doesn't mean you have to sow seeds of hatred. You have to use your public speaking ability to create a better impact among our society. Whatever you say, whatever comes out of your mouth, it has to impact people positively. That is something to put in mind. So speech is power. That's what Ralph Waldo Emerson said. He said speech is to persuade. Sure, if you're a salesperson, like I said, you try to get that person to buy your product. You're trying to get that person to care about your product. That's what I mean by persuade. And there's also to convert. Speech is to convert. Speech is to compel. I mean, you do not forcibly compel somebody to do anything. You actually instill something in his mind that sort of pushes him to do what you want him to do. But remember, that has to be something positive. And he continues, it is to bring another out of his bad sense into your good sense. For example, if you're speaking in front of disgruntled employees, what are you going to say? If you own a company and if you have to make a speech in front of your employees, let's assume that your employees are disgruntled, and what do you have to say in front of them? They already have that sense. They're not in their good times. And what should you say in front of those disgruntled employees? You got to care about exactly what you're going to say in front of those people. All right? That's exactly what I'm saying. So you try to bring that person out of his bad sense into your good sense. When you speak in front of these disgruntled employees, what do you have to say? You got to get them up and then get them fired up to work hard and to be productive at your company. You maybe come up with some ways of incentivizing their efforts. It's not only speaking, of course, it's backing your speech with some practical things in there. Anyway, whatever you have at hand, all you have to do is, when you try to bring somebody out of his bad sense and bring him into your good sense, you try to say something positive and back it up with some practicality. And of course, you create a better sense. People could have prior feelings of themselves, and when you stand in front of them and talk, you have to be careful when it comes to choosing words. Whatever you have to say, you have to know exactly how to address them. If you're talking in front of people who seem to have given up on life, what do you have to say? You have to be careful. All right? In a state of adding fuel into the fire, you have to come up with some positive feelings in order to get those people to feel something positive about themselves. That's something to put in mind. So there are two questions that you need to answer before you get on the podium. All right? Number one, you have to answer, who am I speaking to? So when you prepare to speak publicly, one of the questions that you should ask yourself is, who am I going to speak in front of? I'm talking about the audience, all right? Who am I going to speak in front of? Because public speaking is audience-centered. If you do not put your audience in mind at first, you're actually going to ruin the speech, all right? So you're not going to make the speech for yourself. You're going to make the speech for your audience. When you answer this question, who am I going to speak in front of? It kind of gives you some idea of how to put your ideas together and then what you have to say and all that, all right? So the other one is, why am I going to speak in front of them? I'm talking about the people who you should address, all right? Why am I going to talk to them? Why am I going to be on the stage to say something to these people? Why am I going to be on the stage to address them? So that's something to put in mind. So answer the who and the why questions, and the rest of the questions, which are 3 questions, will automatically be answered. One of the questions is, what is an appropriate topic? What kind of topic should you come up with? Number 2, how long should you speak? And number 3, what tone should you set? When I talk about the kind of topic that you should choose, like when you know your audience, you know exactly what you're going to say in front of them, and then you come up with an appropriate topic. And the other one is how long you should speak. You're not going to speak the whole day, and then you don't have to make it too long or too short. Make it as concise as possible, as precise as possible. The other one is, what kind of tone should you set? When I talk about tone, I'm talking about the mood of your speech. What kind of mood should you create for people to take? That's it. So public speaking, when you say something in front of people, make sure that what you say has some sort of positive mood. Otherwise, it's not going to end well. So create a better tone, create a positive atmosphere for people to feel good about. That's exactly what people want. People want to be in a positive environment. Nobody hates that. So try to set a better tone. Remember, public speaking is about the audience. All right? You're not going to speak in front of people for yourself. You're going to talk for the people. So think about exactly what you're going to say, and then say it the best way you can, and try to create impact, because public speaking is always about creating impact. It's not about impressing people. It's not about giving them something to say something about you. It is to say something to them that they take in so much, and then they would probably put it into practice when it comes to their jobs or their personal lives, whatever it is that they are involved in. This is it about the first class. Next time, I'm going to talk to you about many other topics. All right, you can say anything you want related to public speaking down there, by the way. So this is our first session. Well, I'm going to make it as short as possible because I believe you have so many places to go or so many things to do. So I'm going to put everything in short. Like I said, if you have any questions, please leave them down there. And if you haven't already, please subscribe. And if you enjoy this video, please give us a thumbs up. It's going to help this video go viral. Really, it's gonna be a blast. I'll see you next time with another topic. Remember to make an impact, a positive impact. So, bye-bye.